I have a feeling this video is going to be all over the place because that's how my mind is at the moment. Usually I would try to organize this video, maybe even write an intro, but I don't know if you realize this. Even when you have filmed numerous videos, in my case, I think I have currently over 1,000 videos on my channel, which is unbelievable in itself. I don't know how that happened. But even after more than 1,000 videos, it still takes courage to put on the camera and to make a video. Maybe it's like actors that still get the stage fright even when they've done it 1,000 times. Maybe that's something similar. But just so you know, these videos take courage. Maybe this is a helpful thought for beginners, or maybe it's a scary thought. I don't know. But I think I would have liked to hear from someone who's been on YouTube for a while, if I'm a beginner, to know that even after so many years, this feeling is always going to be there. Now, as I said, that might be scary, but at the same time, it might be comforting because maybe it gets you to get more accustomed with the feeling, to kind of embrace it, that this is how it's going to be, this is what it is, it's not going to change. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. But having said that, I love being here with you, and I love this series in particular, the Plan With Me series, because this is the most authentic me. This is where you get to see a lot of different parts of my life, and this is where I share the most about myself. Enough blabbering, let's get into the planner. So if this is the first time you're seeing this planner, please check my Plan With Me playlist below where I show you how I make these planners step by step. They're very easy to make. They're made out of paper bags. So you can learn how to do that in the series. And for this year, I have 4 months per planner. We are currently now in June, which is the 2nd month. So we're kind of in the middle right now. And usually I'll start off by sharing the things I've added to June since you last saw this planner. It is currently Thursday, June, what is it? Is it 20th? Yes, June 20th when I'm filming this. So that's as far as I got for the month of June. This was our cover page. And by the way, I just also want to mention, this is completely out of context. I had the hardest time turning on the camera today for some reason, even though I knew exactly what to do. I had everything prepared in advance, but something in me was holding me back. I still don't know what that was. But what helped was, for a completely different reason, I had a long chat with my dear friend Louise Heinzel on Instagram. And even though we've been talking about all kinds of topics, that whole conversation now gave me the motivation to film this video today. Thank you again, sweet, sweet Louisa. She didn't know that she gave me this motivation through our talk, but she did somehow. And what also helps is a little piece of dark chocolate. So we made this cover page together. These birds are not from a kit. These are from a vintage bird book I found at my Goodwill. Added a little collage on the back. So you've seen all of this. This is a photo of me, and I love it because of the background. Because look at this great graffiti background wall. This was in a place in Vienna called, this is where I live in case you don't know, called Donauinsel. So it's right by the river Danube, and they have some cafes on both sides of the river with some nice music and cocktails and shisha and everything. So I was there, I think 2 weekends ago with my BFF, and it was really nice. So I wanted to keep that memory, and I just, as I said, love the colors. But what I'm seeing now is I would actually love to add some stamping here for some reason. So we need to do that now. I think I'll use one of these stamps from the Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz stamp set called Noteworthy CMS 446. I will link this for you below in case you want to check it out. I have a feeling I'm talking very fast. I don't know why. Because I'm excited, I think. I don't know what's going on. As I said, this video is going to be all over the place. So I'm trying to find something that will fit in here. Although what I would really love is something that I could put here that gets bigger because of the perspective. But that would mean I would have to hand draw it. I don't have the patience for that right now. What would really work well from the sentiment is, I just see this one also, if not now, then when? Because this was, yeah, we'll do this. Because this was now such a spontaneous decision to add something here. Of course, it's going to be difficult because it's on a very uneven surface. This bag here is super uneven because I kind of messed up the inside. So putting a writing board underneath is not really going to help. We will just see what happens and not freak out if it's not perfect, right? Oh, it's fine, it's fine. Look, I think that adds such a cute, whimsical touch to the photo. And the colors, I think, are so whimsical that it totally matches. And by the way, just so you know, also, Louisa and I have already, even though it's only June, started talking about and planning. Guess what? Yes, it's Defemorember. So if you don't know what Defemorember is, you can even ask ChatGPT. He knows. We've tried that, and ChatGPT knows what Defemorember is. That actually made us happy. In any case, it's a series in December with Louisa and myself where we make ephemera in December using prompts. So we've done this for 3 years now. This will be year number 4, and we are on it. Obviously, we're trying to improve from year to year and to switch things up to keep it interesting. So I'm already looking forward to the changes that we have planned for this year. Okay, let's move on. I have the feeling we're not moving on. So this is the back of the paper bag. As you can see here, I just made a little collage, and I'm using these stickers that I bought years ago. And as you can see, I didn't use all of them. So I really wanted to use these up because I think they're cute and whimsical, and I'm just adding them in my collages. And here's a photo I cannot show you because it's with my BFF and I don't have her permission to show it. So there's another photo in there. Then this I think we made together in the Plan With Me June video. So it's just a little collage here, a folder. And by the way, the papers you see here are my damask wallpapers. They're available in neutral colors, and there's a separate pack with the muted colors. And I made this file folder, you might remember. For this month, I didn't have an extra ephemera pack, but I did have these ephemera shapes, which I will again link for you below. And I appreciate that some of you did give me feedback as I asked, because I wanted to know, do you prefer the ready-made ephemera, or do you prefer just having these templates and then making your own ephemera by tracing these onto your digitals? And I have decided for myself, I like the option of having both. And I think that's something that a lot of you were also happy with. It's nice to have these because you can use these obviously on any digitals. But it's also nice to have ready-made ephemera. I totally get that. I kind of missed it for this month, I have to admit. And of course, it's quicker to just cut something out than to figure out what portion of the background do I want to use. Then I have to trace it. For me, those are two actually very different things. I have learned that through that process. And now I'm happy to have both, again, starting from this month. So it was just this 1 month where I didn't have the ready-made ephemera. Then we have a... oh, this is sticking. Oh no. Okay, it's okay. We have this very, very special card. There's a separate video on this. This was in memory of our dear friend Rhonda Winstead, Rhonda without an H, who sadly passed at the end of May. She was one of us, and I'm comforted knowing that she's in a better place now and that she has no more pain. So I made this card following a tutorial by Rhonda in her honor, and these digitals here are from a freebie. You can find those linked on my Ko-fi site under this video, which I will link for you below this video. So very, very special. Then I have some photos that I printed. I'm always trying to find ways to add photos in a more original way than just having the rectangle and sticking it down. And one of the things I love doing is cutting out the object or the people that are in the photos and then using them in different ways. You kind of see what this is, but I will explain this separately. So this is attached just with a washi tape. I also added some glue so that it doesn't come off in a short time. On the back here, I have it's supposed to be a belly band, but I think, yeah, okay, it's still a belly band. I thought it glued down completely. So this was again using one of those stickers from this pack. And I added this mushroom from a vintage book. I love how she's sitting on there, and there's some wallpaper in the back. This here was a mail I received from lovely Martina. She also made this beautiful card with some hand embroidery. Absolutely gorgeous. Then she made this. It's so cute. I don't think I have anything. No, there's nothing inside here yet, but I'm sure I will find something. This was last week. I just made a very simple pocket and a tag to add my to-dos on. Kept it very simple because I didn't really have much time. Oh, I found this sticker somewhere and I wanted to add it there. Why? Because I don't know why it was there. Okay, I think I know. I will explain later. So this is where we are today, Thursday, June 20th. There's nothing here yet. This is my to-do list for this week. I used a die for this tag shape with my damask wallpaper backgrounds. I have my to-dos on the back. I just added some crackling campfire, distress oxide here, and some gold splatters. And then I just tore a piece off one of the backgrounds to make a tuck spot. I added some packaging paper here, added a little collage. I realized that having these ephemera shapes, it also made me a bit more adventurous making other ephemera shapes like this one, because I would not have made this if I would have had ready-made ephemera. You know what I mean? So that was kind of a nice experience. Something I came up with now, and do not ask me why I didn't come up with this earlier, because it is so obvious to me. You know, I always like including things in my planner that are current for me during that time. So I add photos of, you know, places I go or special moments with my friends or family. I add all kinds of memorabilia like tickets or pamphlets, for example, like this one here or like this one. But I have never had the idea of actually adding photos of the projects I'm making during this month. Why? I cannot figure it out. So this is a photo of the inside of a journal I made in a tin. And I have the other photo here. That's what the tin looks like when it's opened. And on the back, I put the name and the date. So these are from the same journal. That was a two-part video. It was a design team project for the Digital Collage Club. I will link this video for you below in case you want to see how I made that. And then maybe you also recognize this here. This is the cover that I replicated from photos of the memory book I made for my brother's 60th birthday. Because obviously I don't have this book in my hands anymore. I gave it to my brother, but I wanted to remember it and I wanted to keep it in the section of the planner in which I made it. So I stuck it here in June because that's when I gave it to him, even though I started making it much earlier. So this is the cover of the book. I took the photos I had, cut them out and put them together with just regular copy paper strips. And then I just wrote this so I remember what it is. Thankfully, I also have the video. So there is a series on how I made this book. I think it's 4 parts altogether. So I will link that one for you as well below. It would be cute to keep it, you know, in 3D, but I can't do that in the planner, and I want to have it in my planner. So it's just in here a bit floppy like that. I'm okay with that. I will remember it like this. Editing Barbara here. Many of you have commented that you would like to hear about my brother's reaction to receiving this memory book. So my sister-in-law organized a surprise lunch for him with family and close friends. And when he received the book from me, he was completely overwhelmed. When he leafed through the pages, he missed about 75% of all the photos in all of the pockets and the tucks. But he did take time that evening to go through it in detail and to read all the notes that everybody added. Of course, he loved it, and I'm sure he will treasure it for a long time. But what really touched my heart was that his son, who is 16 and is not a crafter at all, he had watched the making of the cover and had a thorough look at not only the cover, but every single page, making sure not to miss any of the details. And that really made my day. These are 2 more projects which are coming up very soon, 2 different kinds of journals. So have a look out for those. These 2 pages are still empty because I think I'm going to add books to these, books that I'm currently reading. Then this would be next week. So I made this pocket. Again, I just tore a piece from my backgrounds, from the damask backgrounds. I added sentiments. These are stickers from Studio Lights. And then I made this coin envelope from one of the ephemera templates and my backgrounds. Added a negative of a die cut in the front for more interest, sewed around here. And the reason why I wanted to sew around here is because I added some waxed paper inside here so that this is not blank. I always like adding something, whether it's ink or something, but I wanted to add this piece of waxed map, and it's really hard to glue waxed paper and it always kept opening here, so I just decided to sew around it. That solved the problem. Then I made this tag. This is going to be for my to-dos. I just stenciled on the back. And that's the last page. I do have my fitness tracker in the back here. You will see that in a moment. So before we go into the July kit, I want to share some other things with you. I recently walked by one of my favorite secondhand shops here in Vienna. I used to go a lot more often because I lived more central. Now I live more in the outskirts in Vienna and it takes me a while to get to all of these places, but it makes it all the more special when I do get to go. So I want to share a couple of things I got from there. So first of all, I found these books. These 2 are from a series. They are French. I love these covers, but also look how beautifully they are decorated on all of the sides. And I also love the vintage French pages, of course. Do we have a date here? This is also gorgeous, this writing. 1845. So beautiful. So both of these are pretty much the same. These were, I don't think I paid 16 euros because they were each 16 euros. No, I did not pay that for sure. I'm trying to think, how much did I pay? Because I think I paid for all 3 of these, maybe it was 70 euros. So not super cheap, but for what it is, it's amazing because this book alone was priced with 87 euros. And I got, as I said, I got all 3 for, I think it was 60 or 70 euros. And this one is absolutely crazy. It says circa 1728 Paris. There is no other date in here, but this is absolutely insane. When I saw this, I knew I had to have it, even though I cannot ever imagine taking this apart. I wish you could feel the papers. It's absolutely gorgeous paper. I love these pages. Do you hear the sound? Isn't it just incredible? Yeah. I don't really have a lot of space to just collect books that I'm not using to work in, but how can you ever take something like this apart? I might copy some of the pages and use them that way, but I will not take this apart, even though I also really adore the cover. But I just cannot. And then I also found some vintage documents. I also really love these. Love this old handwriting. So this one is German. Then we have this one, which is also German. This one is, I can never tell, is it Italian or is it Spanish? Il pergamento di questo importo. Okay. This must be Italian. Also gorgeous. This one is double-sided. Yeah, it's from Trieste, so that is definitely Italian. Then we have a German, or let's say an Austrian contract. So this one has 4 pages in total. Absolutely gorgeous here. Then we have a German invoice. I cannot even read what it says here, to be honest. So it says Vienna, 1913. Then we have this one. This is again German, 1902. And then we have this one. It's again German. I'm not sure from when this is. Here we go. Also 1913. And I thought I would share these with you. So I made these into their own little digital kit with only 6 pages, and I added a few more things to make it a bit more fun. So this is page 1, and these are printed on matte photo paper. This is page 2 with the Italian. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5 and page 6. So you can find this linked below as well. So this is not the July kit, but I might use some of these to combine them with the July kit. And this past weekend, my BFF and I went to a flea market, a very small flea market in Vienna, and it had mostly clothes. And you might know that I adore making jeans cover journals. And so I was focused on finding cool jeans. So I just wanted to share the kinds of jeans that I got, maybe to inspire you what you could look for, either within your own family. Maybe you have children that have outgrown their jeans, or maybe you have the chance to get to a flea market. So I like having different shades of blue, first of all. So this is very light. And this one I chose because look how cool. What a cool cover that is going to make. So I love seeing these torn jeans. Also, this is really cool here on the pocket. And we have another one here. Then we have this little thing here. So I think this will make a couple of great jeans journals. They're also fun to print with on your jelly plates. And if you want to see that, you can find that linked below as well, where I used some of the jean parts to do that. That was very fun. Then I found this girl's jeans jacket. The reason why I chose this one is mostly because of this here. Because this, I think, is again going to make a super cute journal cover. What do you think? The only worry I have is if I cut this, I hope the elastic here is not going to lose its elasticity. Well, actually, it's not even that elastic, so it might be okay. But I think that's going to be great. Obviously, I can also use the other parts of this jacket. Also, this pocket is very fun. That could be a cool part. Number 3 are these fun ones. I think these will be very fun. And look, they don't only have the spots, but they also have huge holes here. Love these a lot. But even without the holes, oh, there's another one here. How fun is that? Even just using a piece from here will make a beautiful cover. Love it. And I have one more. I think this one made me the happiest. Are you ready for it? Ta-da! Oh my goodness. It is neon pink. It is so cute. They're just shorts. They have no tears. But can you imagine the fun jeans cover I can make with this? And I can maybe tear my own holes. I am in love with this neon pink. Oh my goodness. Oh, and it matches my fingernails. And all of these jeans were between 1 and 3 euros. So perfect crafting material. If you're here for the first time and you're wondering, like, what is she talking about? This is supposed to be a plan with me video. Yes, I promise you will get into that. But a part of sharing my plan with me's is also sharing, as I said before, parts of my life that are part of my journey as a junk journal artist. And another part is also books. So as I mentioned, I wanted to keep these 2 pages for books. And I shared in last month's video that I was in the middle of fourth wing. So in the meantime, I have added this to my calendar. I also wrote something about this. So what I do is I find photos on the internet of the cover. The back I usually can't find, so I usually take a photo of the actual book. So that would be here. And then I print them out on cardstock. I glue them back to back, leave a hinge that I can attach to my actual planner page. And then I can write some notes on it, because previously I always only had them in the back here, which I'm obviously still keeping. And by the way, this book tracker is also linked for you below. But I had the feeling like I'm not giving the books enough space. So I wanted to have extra pages where I can actually have the covers and then have a space for notes. And this way, I think I will remember them a lot better, because otherwise I think I will forget some of these books quite easily. I would only do that for books that I enjoyed, because why would I want to remember the other ones? So coming back to books, I never told you what I thought of this book. I ended up giving it 4 stars. So I really did enjoy this a lot. I liked the main characters. It had a love story, friends to enemies. There was a lot of action. I loved the dragons in it. I loved the relationship with the dragons, with their riders, and also amongst themselves and the role they're playing in the whole story. I really, really enjoyed this book. I think I mentioned in the previous Plan With Me video that I wasn't sure whether I was going to continue, because this is the first book of a series, because I had heard very conflicting things about book number 2. The issue was that this book ended with a cliffhanger, which I am really not a fan of, especially if it's a series that is not even finished. Because if you end with a cliffhanger and the next book isn't there for at least a year, I'm going to forget about it and it's not going to make me want to continue. But I caved and I got the second book, which is Iron Flame. And I am almost through. I have I think 40 pages or so to go. I really tried finishing it before this video because I wanted to give you feedback on it, but I think I can give you the feedback without having read the last 40 pages. First of all, what really bugged me is when you look at the size. Look, why is this so big? I know that this book also exists in this huge version, and I'm assuming this will come out in this smaller version a little later, but this is still fairly new. So it was only available in this brick of a size, which I really was not happy about. First of all, because if I want to have this series of my bookshelf, I mean, yes, they go together, they're beautiful, but come on, really? But thankfully, I'm not really a book collector, so usually I give my books to Goodwill as soon as I finish, unless it's a season like this, then I usually wouldn't. So going back to this book here, if I would rate it right now, and I don't think this rating is going to change, I can give this one, best case, 3 stars. And I must say I'm kind of struggling. I've been struggling since about the middle of the book. The whole page is about 620 pages. I'm struggling. There is a lot going on, and at the same time, nothing is happening. I don't know how to explain it. Our protagonist, Violet, is kind of getting on my nerves. There are topics in here that go throughout the whole book that aren't resolved until 600 pages later, and it's just dragging on too long. A lot of the points in here are dragging on too long. It's a lot of politics. The love story is not the focal point anymore. The love interest is there only sporadically. I'm not loving it. There's so many characters in here, and like in the middle of the book, a lot more characters get added, and I'm just kind of losing the overview and interest. So I'm really struggling to finish this book. I would not have thought so. Yeah, kind of disappointed in this one. So I don't know if I will be continuing in this series. I believe there's 3 more books to come. So before I buy any more, I'm going to check the reviews, because if this is how it's going to continue, then no thank you. Please let me know if you've read these first 2 books or either of these. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to know. But because this book is such a brick, and I read a lot on public transportation, on the subway, on buses. And of course, carrying this around with me was not fun. which is why I decided to splurge, which is why you see this here, because I got myself a Kindle, finally. I was always against getting a Kindle because I really like having the book in my hand. I love feeling the pages. I mean, obviously, I'm a junk journaler, right? Of course, I want to have the tactile book in my hand. I love turning the pages. I love the feel of the paper in my hands. I love seeing the progression of where I am in the book. It's a whole different feeling for me to have the book in my hand as opposed to having some kind of an e-reader. But again, this book convinced me that this is not the way to go. So I caved and I got myself this Kindle Paperwhite. It's the 6.8 inch. It has the Amazon logo on it. It's in this beautiful, I forgot what it's called, the green. I think they call it agave green. I really like it. I'm still waiting for the case. It's taking forever for the case to come from Amazon. And of course I had to get the sleeve to go with it. There was not a lot of choice on Amazon for some reason, or any other online place. So I got this one, which I am sort of happy about. This is the one you see in the photo here. The reason why I'm not so happy is, why does it have to be so big? I mean, I'm getting a small Kindle because I want something small for my handbag, and then you give me a huge case. Why? Why? It does have a pocket here. You could put your phone in here maybe. I won't, but you could. Then it opens all the way. And this is kind of practical because you can put your Kindle in here. Yes, it's great. But again, why do I need all this extra thing? Yes, you can put your cable in here. And currently I also have this pop socket on here, which I think is very cute. It's also from Amazon. So that pops up like this and it goes on the back, which makes it a lot easier to hold, because this is kind of hard to hold without it, I have the feeling. And the reason why I don't have it on yet is because I'm waiting for the clear cover. Because once this is on, it's on. And I don't really want to put it on the original Kindle. I want to put it on the cover. So that should come within the next, I guess, 2 weeks. In any case, let me just show you what it looks like. This is obviously not sponsored in any way. I'm also not linking it. So if you want a Kindle, you can search for it. So this is what it looks like. Of course, this has so many advantages. Obviously, I knew these advantages. Maybe I'll just name the few advantages that I see from the short time that I've had this is, first of all, you can adjust the font, because obviously when you buy a book, I sometimes have the feelings in some books the font is quite small and it annoys me. So this way I can choose how big my font is. I still see the progress. I have a percentage here, so it says 65% here, and here you have the page number, but what you can actually also change that to say like 6 minutes left in the chapter. I don't know how it knows how quickly I'm reading, but okay. Then it says 4 hours 43 minutes left in the book. I don't know what that means. Lock 3962, no idea. And you could have nothing, but I like seeing the page number. Then of course it has lighting. On this Paperwhite, you can adjust it to be either a warm light or a cool light. And another feature I really like, of course, that of course you won't have in a normal book, is you can easily look up words by, for example, okay, let me try the yanked. I know what yanked means, but just to demonstrate, it will show me. It's talking about the noun here, yank, another term for Yankee. That's not what this is. Let's try another. That was a really bad example. That hasn't happened before. Let's try. There's nothing here. I don't know. Let's see what it says for murdering. Again, it's giving me the noun, the unlawful premeditated killing of one human being by another. So that's, of course, a cool feature. And I have caught myself because now I've been going back and forth between the physical book, the Iron Flame, and a downloaded book. I have caught myself when I didn't know a word to put my finger on it. Yep, it didn't work. Of course, the main reason I got this is because of how slim and small and light it is. I don't know the exact weight, but it is super lightweight and it's easy to take with me when I leave the house. So at the moment, I am reading this at home while I'm reading this on the go. And it's interesting to read 2 books at once because I've never done that. And I feel like reading 2 books in the same genre, so both of these are fantasy, is not great because sometimes I was confused what is happening in which book. But I think if this, for example, was a thriller, that would be fine to read 2 at the same time. And if you're wondering which book I'm reading on here now, so as I mentioned, it's again fantasy, and it's the first book of another Sarah J. Maas series. So it's the same author as the ACOTAR series of A Court of Thorns and Roses. This one was this must have been the last book. Yeah, so this was the last book in this series. Loved it so much. So it's again a Sarah J. Maas book, and it's the Glass of Thrones series, which has been recommended a lot. As you saw, I'm 65% in, and honestly, I'm a little bit bored. So I don't know if it's going to get better. Let me know your thoughts. Is it worth continuing the series? Are the next books better? Let me know. So just to finish off the story quickly with the Kindle, after I got this case, I thought I need a smaller case because why should I always have this big case with me? So I thought of making my own, and I already checked out a video on YouTube I could follow. But then I went to a bookstore and they had one, which is just like the one I wanted to make, and it was only $7.99. So I thought even the fabric that I'm going to buy and the zipper and the batting would cost more than $7.99, plus I would have to make it myself. So I just bought this one, which I also think is very cute. It's a little bit smaller. It fits in here a little bit better. Again, I don't know why it had to be this big. Why? Why does it need to have this extra thing here? I don't know. It is a bit thinner, just a little bit, not much, and a little bit more narrow than this case, not by much. I don't know if it was worth buying it, but I have 2 options now. I have the feeling I'm talking a mile a minute at the moment. I don't know what's happening with me. Are you still here? Put a smiling emoji in the comments below to let me know if you're still here. Without further ado, let me share my latest digital kit with you. Introducing Timeless 20s, a collection that blends the elegance of the 1920s with modern flair in 14 stunning pages of backgrounds. These designs capture the glamour of the roaring 20s, featuring fashion-forward silhouettes and vibrant motifs. Accompanying these backgrounds are 8 pages of ephemera, meticulously crafted to reflect the intricate elegance of the 20s with a contemporary twist. Perfect for adding layers of depth and character to your planner, journal, or any creative project. Let the Timeless 20s collection inspire your artistic journey and immerse yourself in the opulence and charm of the 20s and create something uniquely beautiful. So now I can show you the pages here that I've already added to the next signature of my planner. And here also you see the fitness tracker for June. This is a freebie. You can find this link below as well. So this is where I keep my strength and cardio training. Love how this is looking. Love how consistent it is. That makes me truly happy. I have learned that I like structure and discipline in my life. These things make me happy when I stick to them, when I don't let myself down and I do what I promised myself. So things like this make me happy because I can visualize the discipline that I've had. Does that make sense? I hope so. So this is my cover page for July. This is the right half of the page from the monthly overview that you see on this side. So my planner pages are always the same as my regular backgrounds, except they have these planners already integrated in them. So we will add the month here in a moment. I just wanted to share what these look like printed out on, these are just regular copy papers, no special paper for my planner pages. I ink up the edges always with walnut stain. Also, as a reminder, these calendar pages come blank, so you can use them for any month. So if ever you see a monthly kit that you do not like, you can always refer to previous kits and see if there's something you like and use it for that month. So they are very versatile. Then we have the first week of July. Here I just have a paper bag and the colors just fit so beautifully. This was pure coincidence. There's week 2. Again, we have a paper bag. And again, the colors match so perfectly by coincidence. This one I'm leaving free for books or whatever else I want to add. This is the next week. Love the colors on this one. And we have the next week again. Look how well this fits together. I don't know how this happened this month. And then this is the last week going into August here. Also really love this page. And then on the last one, I added again the fitness tracker and I added one of the backgrounds from the background kit. And then we have one more signature left for August before we move into a new planner. And before I put the July on this page, I want to share one more thing from one of my amazing viewers, dear Debbi. Debbi is such a sweetheart. She comments on every single video. I love reading your comments, sweet Debbi. And she also has a YouTube channel, which I will link for you below. Please check it out. She has the most gorgeous and amazing journals and other projects. Definitely worth checking out. And sweet Debbi... I had to laugh so much. Debbi found a tool, I forgot now again what it's called. It's an AI tool that she used that can make songs, and she made a song for me. And I was laughing and crying and so touched by this song. If Debbi has already put it on her channel, I will link her video on her channel. But I'm also going to insert a segment of it here so you can enjoy it in this video. But please go check out Debbi's channel as well.
Sail away on a sea of calm, at 49 dragonflies, float away on a cloud of zen, at 49 dragonflies, 49, 49, 49 dragonflies, 49, 49, 49 dragonflies. Make a femba in December, don't you know it's deep and remember, with Louisa gonna hug and squeeze her, and occasionally tease her. 49, 49, 49 dragonflies, Barbara at 49, 49, 49 dragonflies. In Vienna, 49, 49, 49 dragonflies. Sail away, sail away. 49 dragonflies. A cloud of sand. 49 dragonflies. We love great burlap, but now she gets it right. Oh no, but it's gonna be out of sight, girl, we know. Oh girl, we know. Girl, we know it's gonna be out of sight.
Isn't that just the funniest? And Debbi also has a video for Tina from Shabby Dabby Duda. But I have to warn you, when you listen to that one, you will not be able to get it out of your head. I warned you. So thank you so much again, Debbi. You really made my day with that video. So now without further ado, finally, let's add July to this. So for this year, I've decided to use these stamps by Delusions, Diane Reevely. These are called Boxed Monthly DYB 79996. So I'm going to take the July stamp. And I thought this time, rather than just stamping it on the page itself, I want to stamp it on one of these paper bag handles. I love having these in my journal. It's kind of become a signature thing for me. These are too long, but let's see, let's make these shorter. Let's ink up these ends because the rest is already inked up. And let's stamp the, oh, I cut these quite short. Oh well, it's okay. Let's stamp July here. I think the stamp is actually a little bit too big. It is, but we'll do it anyway because I have put that in my head now and I need to get that out of my system. Let's first put it in the middle. But I think it might be fun to stamp it a few more times rather than just once. I just want to mix it up a bit and try different things with the month, while at the same time I'm sticking to the same font. So there is some cohesiveness within the planner. Yeah, liking that. So this goes here. These are totally not the same length. Not even close. Okay, so I like this. So I think I want to attach this with some large eyelets. So you can find these kind of eyelets by searching, for example, on Amazon. Either it's large eyelets or it's big eyelets. I think it's large eyelets. And these usually come in 3 different colors in a pack. And I believe what I have here is a little less than 3 packs. I'm not sure how many pieces are in one. So you see, oh, there's actually 4 different colors. So these are the 4 different ones. I love these. The other option is, of course, to use brads to attach it or to just glue it on. I think for this one, I'm going to go for these dark ones. So let's first punch 2 holes in the handle. Then we take a pencil and trace those holes on our page. Then we know where to punch these. 1 and 2. And finally we add our eyelets. Make sure it's in the right position before you clamp down your eyelet, because otherwise it will be very hard to move. I love it. Do we need to put anything else on the page? Does it need a sentiment? I think a sentiment would be nice. So I found one in this little sticker book by Studio Light. Does it have a number? It does. JMAESSTIC07, in case you want to look for these. So they have 3 different colors of sentiments: the green, the black, the white, and then they also have individual letters. I'm going to use a black sentiment which says, "Be brave enough to be yourself." And I'm just going to stick it on here. I think this fits to today's theme of having courage to turn on the camera and to just be myself and to just blabber away. I hope you're still here, by the way. Okay, so I'm happy with this cover page for July. And then we have here the first week of July. So I need something, as always, to add my to-dos into. And I'm just thinking, actually, rather than putting my to-dos on this page, I have this large envelope here. I'm just going to put it here, because that way I don't always have to flip this over to see my to-dos for this week. And then I can use this page for something else. So let's check the ephemera pages to see what I want to do. Maybe I want to add a horizontal belly band here. And I have 2 images that would work well for that. So on the page 1, I could use this one with this cute old car. That would make a really cute belly band. Or I have another one. This one here, which is a bit more narrow, which is this scene of a French city. But I do like the car. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the car. Okay, we need to cut this down a little bit more. I think I'll take some off here. And then it can definitely stand out here a little bit. So I'll cut it here. Okay, so I've cut this down, but I think I want the corners to be cut off like a tag shape. So I will use my template here that I usually use for tags and cut the corners on all 4 sides. Liking that. It definitely needs some stitching. Usually I would use black around the edges, but actually the white works really well. It is what I had in my machine from the last project, so that's awesome. So now we can just glue the 2 ends. Now we need to find something to put in there. Kind of like these here with the frames around them. Or we could also do a tag. Color-wise, I think I would like a pop of color, like those other cards have. Or something like this. No, let's do one of these. I'm feeling the color. I think this one would go well because of the yellow. So we have this, but it's kind of disappearing behind this. So maybe we can enlarge this a little bit because I do have some wiggle room here to make it wider. So why don't we add some texture as well? I went through my scrap drawers and I found 2 pieces of scraps that might work. This one is from a blouse from the flea market. Let's try this one first. I love the colors in this one. So that would be super cute. And the other option is this one. This would also work. But I think we see more of the different colors on this one. So let's see if I can cut a square. This is too narrow to tear, so this one I will have to cut because it's completely crooked. We can even it out by fraying the edge. So then we need some cardstock to adhere this onto. And I'm just going to be lazy. Usually I would brush this on with a brush, but I think I can also do that with my fingers. How lazy can you get, right? It's either laziness or it's efficiency. You can decide. And I'm adhering it so that that part of the fabric peeks out because obviously I don't want to see the white cardstock. So let's try this before we cut it because I don't want to mess up my scissors. And now, of course, Barbara, how are you going to cut this so that so that the fabric peeks out? Hello, girl. And how is it going to be straight if you do that? Oh my goodness. So I should have obviously cut out a square first, a little bigger than this one, and then glued that onto the fabric. I am clearly not thinking. Oh boy, this part here is glued down really well. Come on, we can do it. We can do it. Okay, we got it. So now what do we do? Okay, let's try this with a ruler. Is there any worse way to do this? I don't think so. Now, can anyone tell me why I used a pen so that now I can't erase my pen line. Okay, this will not do. This is just horrible. I mean, the front is going to be fine, but this back will not do. Also, I have some glossy glue here, so no. So I have a piece of beige cardstock here, and I'm going to cut this the same size as my messed up white cardstock, and then we can just glue this onto the other one. And nobody will never know. Nobody will never know. Finally, let's glue this on. By the way, I have a question. You might know I have this series called Making Digitals Your Own, where I share some inspiration of what you can do with digitals that you have bought from wherever, just to give you more ideas. I haven't made one of those videos in a while. Is that something you want to see again? Is that something you enjoy? Please let me know, because otherwise I'm not sure if I will be making more of those. So is this not too wide? Okay, it just barely fits in here. Yep, so this has now visually enlarged my card. So that's fun. Also, I love, as always, the combination of vintage and modern. I also want to add a sentiment here, again from this Studio Light sticker book, which is life is a journey and only you hold the key, because we have a car here and that works well with the journey. So let's first add the longer piece. I'm not even going to ink up the edges. That's crooked, but it's okay. And since it mentions a key, let's add a key dangle here. So I have my little box of charms here. And I definitely have quite a few keys in here. I think I like this simple one. Somehow the car makes me want to use this one here. So let's quickly add a jump ring to that. Then we need a hole here. And I'll use a regular eyelet. Oh, look! Eiffel Tower, Paris, French city. Oh, but I don't have the right color. No, wait. I also have these here. They're a bit bigger. Hole needs to be bigger. So these manual hole punches make bigger holes. And then we can use one of these. These are cool because they actually have back sides. See, they have these little rings. And I'm not sure where I got these from. I've had these for a really long time. So you will just have to search. What would I search for? I would search for eyelets with backs. You see, then the back looks a lot neater. I like that. So where's our key? Here. I'm going to use one of these ball chains. These you can find by searching for ball chain, and they will come with these little closures, a bunch of these. And then you just cut the chain the length you would like to have, and you can do that with regular scissors. So I'll put this through and then I will know how long I want it to be. So then I'll put my jump ring with the key through it. It's a bit tricky when it's this short. You need a bit of patience. But if I can do it, then you can do it, because my patience is not great. And then you just put the balls into these ends. Okay, one side is in. Okay. Cute. So now I'm set for the first week of July, and you can see the rest of the month in the Plan With Me August video. And there's one more thing I would like to share with you. Before I do that, let's just do a bulk check. It is filling up nicely. Look at that. It started off approximately this thin, so half of the width that you see now, and it's going to become probably like this at the end. How fun. So I decided to add this journal here to my shop. I will link the videos where I made this journal for you below. This was another design team project for the Digital Collage Club. This is a doily that I found at the flea market. This raw silk that I have here as closure, and on the inside of the cover is very special because my mom made a dress for me with this silk to go to some balls. The theme of this journal is Marie Antoinette. It is very whimsical, very colorful. It has a lot of original vintage ephemera in here, a lot of original doilies, vintage book pages. I'm not going to share a complete flip through now because there is a flip through in that playlist, but just so that you get an idea. Also an original. This here is also from a flea market. It's so cute. We see more of it here. We see stenciling, junk mail, more original doilies, etc., etc. So this will go into my shop in exactly a week. So that would be July 2nd. If it's there, it will be at the very top of all of my products, but I will also put a link in the description box for my physical products in my shop. This is also original vintage ephemera. Yeah, so lots of pages in here, lots of space to add your own things in it. I'm loving the bright neon colors. It has such a fun vibe, I think. Again, original. I've printed on these envelopes with my jelly plate. Under this series where I made this journal, which is linked below, you can also find a video link below where I made these envelopes with the jelly plate. Yeah, so as I said, I'm not going to do a full flip through, just so you get an idea. Yeah, because I realized I'm not going to be working in this. So I would love for somebody to own this who will actually use it so it can fulfill its destiny. So if you're still here, thank you for your patience and for listening to all my waffling. I hope you enjoy this kit. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.